Hi guys, this is Guina again. First of all, I really hope that everyone's doing well. Today I thought of covering macronutrients, what they are, and how you should distribute them throughout your day. So basically we have three macronutrients. The first one is carbohydrates, the second one is protein, and the third one is fat. Okay, so the next question is, how much of carbohydrates should you have per meal? Let's make it a rule of thumb that whenever you want to have carbohydrates, like any of the sources that we mentioned earlier, have the portion size as big as your fist. This is normally considered a cup, 1 cup or 240 milliliters of water. This is a really good measure, and it's really important for you to include at least 1 fist size of carbohydrates per meal per day. Okay, so the next macronutrient we're going to talk about is protein. Protein should make 25 to 35% of your diet depending on your activity level. And it can come in two different forms. The first form is animal-based protein, and in that case it would come from meat such as beef, chicken or fish, or in dairy products like milk or yogurt or eggs. Or it can come in a plant-based form, and in that case it's everything that comes from pulses such as beans, peas, lentils, and also it can come in quinoa or other grains that aren't included in this video. So the next question is, how much protein should you have per meal? Let's also make it very easy for you and use this deck of cards, which I hope everyone has, as a measurement to measure your protein portions per meal. This is equivalent to 60 grams of protein, and it includes all the protein sources that come from meat in general. When it comes to having plant-based protein like peas or beans or anything like that, then we're going to come back to our basic serving size measurement, which is your fist, and this is equivalent to a cup. Both servings, either a cup of any of the grains or plant-based protein, or a deck of cards, which is 60 grams of any of the meat-based protein, is going to give you 14 grams of protein, pure protein, per meal, and this is what your body needs to sustain its muscles per day. So the next macronutrient that we're going to talk about is fat. Fat can be limited as much as possible. The reason I'm saying this is because you already find fat in all of the food sources that we mentioned before, in all of the macronutrients, such as meats or carbs in general. Everything has fat in it. However, it's also really good to include unsaturated fat sources, and these are the ones that I'm showing here in this video. These include olive oil, avocado, vegetable oil, and nuts and seeds. One thing that you guys have to be very mindful of is trans fat. Trans fat is anything that is found in fried food, like fried chicken, french fries, all these food deliveries, or also desserts like cookies and cakes. So try to limit these options as much as possible, because this type of fat is very dangerous. It sticks to your arteries. It can lead to serious medical problems like blood pressure and high cholesterol and heart disease. So try to limit these options to once a week if you can. When it comes to measuring your oil intake, let's also come up with a rule of thumb, and in that case it is your thumb, and it's the tip of your thumb. So just use that as a measure for the amount of oil, let's say, or even if you're using butter or if you're using any other types of fat. Use the tip of your thumb as a measure to add this portion to your meal, and try not to exceed it. The last point I wanted to talk about is having your 5 a day of fruits and vegetables and how to measure them. And that's really easy. Again, we're going to use our fist. So have 5 fists of a mixture of fruits and vegetables, whether it's apples, pears, spinach, broccoli, anything that you'd like, as long as you include these in your day. So let's put all these macronutrients together and see how your plate should look like. All right, guys, so I'm just going to share with you what I'm going to have for lunch today. I just thought of breaking up the main ingredients as we discussed earlier. Basically, I'm going to have a portion of carbs, which is as big as the size of my fist. In that case, it's sweet. You could replace it with anything you want, like pasta, bulgur. You can even replace it with potato, as long as you're having a portion as big as a cup or the size of your fist. For my protein, I'm going to be having 2 boiled eggs and half a cup of edamame. You could replace these with any source of meat or pulses like lentils, beans, anything like that. That could come up to a cup and a half of pulses in that case. I'm gonna have avocados for my dose of healthy fats and vegetables for sure. I also added a dash of olive oil and a bit of salt and pepper. And that would be it. Okay guys, that's it for today. I really hope you enjoyed this, and please leave any comments or any questions that you have. I would love to answer them, or I would love to, add anything that you're interested in knowing about. I'm going to be talking about calorie counting in my next video, and I really hope you could watch it too.